They wanted you to be the drama so bad that they created a narrative in hopes that you would fall into it. This is Richard Readings, and this is going to be a collective read. Surprise, surprise, somebody wants you to be the drama, and when you don't be the drama, they actually try and force you to be. The reason for this being that they've already created a narrative where you are the bad guy in their narrative. And in order for them to continue to have that narrative exist, you have to be the drama. And when you're not the drama, imagine what happens to that narrative. I see many of you have been dealing with people who were once close to you, people who thought that they had figured you out, but they had figured nothing really out because it was based around their own interpretation of something that they didn't actually even know about. What I'm seeing is that some of these people are from a time in your life where you were going through something really damaging, like very, very hard to deal with. And because of your reactions in a point where you were going through something that was extremely damaging overall to your health, well-being, and mental health, these people have now projected that to be your entire personality. So these people have created narratives around a personality that wasn't yours to begin with, but was actually you in a reactionary state during a time in your life that was quite bad. And I just heard the word abysmal, like a lot of hardships that you were going through. But that wasn't enough because they had to deem you as the villain of their story, as the reason why bad things were happening to them. And they have perpetuated that, and they have spread that. They have continuously spread that rumor to the point where they have interfered between you and people that are actually supposed to be in your life path. And that's not enough either, because when you healed, bear with me. When you healed, this person wasn't happy for you. This person actually was so upset because when you healed and you stopped showing up in the way in which they understood you to be through their false lens, they had already created and crafted so much around your reactionary state that they had to go and actually put you back into that reactionary state, or try to put you back into that reactionary state. So this is like somebody who will tell a narrative about you, and when you start showing up not as that narrative, they will then go out of their way to try and put you back into that space so that you fit the storyline that they've crafted. This is not someone that's happy for your healing. This is not someone that's happy for your success, because they have actually created success based upon the fact that they want to play the victim in the situation that they're going through. And I feel like it wasn't even enough for them to play the victim, because when you started showing up as a healed individual, when you started showing up as someone who would go through the hardship and would contain it, would go through the hardship and would talk it out, would go through the hardship and would journal, or would meditate, or would go to God with your problems instead of having a reactionary voice, it has now disrupted them. But understand, it's disrupting them because basically all of what they have gathered and gained over the past 2 years or so, is what I'm hearing, has been at the expense of you, or because they're relying on you to be the version of you that they have created you to be, that they have told people that you are. And so you're not showing up that way anymore. I just saw in my mind someone kicking and screaming, like punching a bed, punching pillows, screaming into pillows. And it's interesting because it's like, this is the person that's trying to say that you are the one creating all of the drama. But this person, I feel like, has gone out of their way to try and create drama in your life, either through fake accounts. Some of you, this is literal spell work. Some of you, these are people who have been working in teams to do this, to try and like antagonize you, to push you to a breaking point to where you show up in a drama or in that narrative of you being a dramatic person that they have pushed. And when you haven't, oh yeah, sorry, I need to. It just told me that this last attempt was so intense. They have thrown the most that they have ever thrown at you before in one sitting. They hit you with everything at the same time. Everything. Everything they could think of. Even like duplicates of things. Like this is like teams of people who are going out of their way to hit you with every single thing that they can think of. And this was to try and get you to react. It was to try and get you to react so that they could watch you blow up your life or have a reactionary, argumentative, dramatic kind of response so that they could sit back and then watch your reaction and talk about it, because they had already created a narrative. They had already told a bunch of lies about who you were. And so they thought that if they hit you with every single thing that they could possibly hit you with, that it would basically put you back into that narrative that they've created. And it didn't.